hello. Look who showed up. Got
People!
Laura. We got Sako.
Yo, what's up?
I can only be here for half an hour because then I have to leave for work.
Okay.
Well, introduce yourself to everybody, and then Sako introduce yourself, and then we can get going.
Okay.
I'm Laura Nettles. I mostly write horror, but I also write sci-fi, romance, um, thingamajigs, all the stuff. Middle grade, adult. I did do one YA, the whole gambit. I have one collection out called Tiny Shivers, and I have, I believe, 38 short pieces now published in magazines and anthologies. Yeah.
Howdy, folks. I'm Sako Toomey. I write horror under the name Cass Foyt, and I wear a lot of hats. I do a lot of things. And if you are interested in any of that stuff, you can Google me at Sako Toomey or Psycho Sako or even Cass Foyt. If you look up Cass Foyt, you'll find my 3 books and, well, two, I don't know, maybe 3 books. 2 of them are on Amazon, and one of them is on Storyteller's Vault. And you'll find my Substack and my art stuff and a whole bunch of stuff that I do. So drop a line sometime. I would love to see you.
And I am Rachel D. Adams as an official name. I've got Aggressively Helpful Writing Advice, which is basically a blog that I put together when I see things that need improvement, or if I want to make sure people hear things that are going on in the writerly world, I post there. And I also have, uh, well, almost two completed series out, all in the Dragon Tasker universe, which is urban fantasy, paranormal romance with a little sprinkle of epic fantasy and historical fantasy mixed in. I'm working on my own fantasy because that one was done with Don McClellan. And this one that I'm working on is my own that I've been working on since, gosh, the 90s. So,
Ooh.
and then I am also looking at a sci fi, and I'm also looking at working on possibly an anthology because I have started a small press with my husband, and um, we're called Arcane Realms Press, and so
Oh,
we're trying to figure things out for the rest of the year on that. So
oh, so
keep your eye.
cool. Very cool.
We are here today because, well, Sam's got a big show that she's going to be in. So we wanted to make sure that we keep things rolling with Breaking the Block. And to that end, I'm going to go through chat real quick, see if we've got any questions, and then move on to we've got two big questions that, or well, questions or topics that we want to cover today. So I'm loving that Barb is playing 80s hits and dancing.
Mm.
Liz is here. Hello.
Hi, Liz.
Eva said, Facebook showed me this link before the comment and better notifications than YouTube. Uh, I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt that.
Oh, wrong algorithm. Yeah,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Let's see. We've got Andy here. Hello. For those of you that don't know, I'm also on Twitch. So catch me there. Then we have Gwen. Hello. Team Stark. Yes. I love Eva. I love that. Eva, probably. Someone find Laura a handsome sugar daddy so she can stay here all day, right?
Amen to that.
You'd have a creepy Victorian house. Yes.
Yes.
My laptop is
With a
being
basement and an attic.
A Mythic Fantasy was born in or around 2012, but that story was complete, and the story now has been stuck in the birth now ever since. Love that you have an old fantasy too. Yes, it
Yeah,
started. It was born of D and D.
Hey, RPG lit is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Indubitably.
Yeah. The attic is your book space for sure. A full attic, wall to wall, nothing but books. Looks like
Mhm.
a
Mhm.
library with a nook, right?
Oh yeah.
Nook, of course. All
Oh, I want to show you guys pictures real quick. So, I recently took a vacation to my sister's house in Utah and painted murals in the kids' bedrooms.
Oh,
And I bought them chandelier lighting fixtures.
ooh,
So they are now installed, and I'm so flippin' happy. Let's see, where did they go? So that's the wrong sister. Hang on.
while she looks up her
There it
thing.
is.
Oh, you found it?
Okay. So this, I painted a. Stop being so bright.
You
I
gotta
painted a
darken
glow in the
it.
dark galaxy ceiling, and then there are these planets and stars for the chandelier.
Yeah, there
So
are.
that's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
I painted the ceiling and a portal window on the wall. And then the girls have unicorns and a rainbow on their wall and a half dandelion chandelier amongst the
Ooh.
clouds and the sky.
Ooh.
Yeah. So,
Nice. All right. Well, I'm going to put this one
sidetrack.
up here. How do you feel about taking breaks from things to reset your mental, physical, and emotional outlook?
I took June off
Same.
because I was dealing with medical stuff and like I needed to concentrate on that. Which is the good news is I'm my biopsy came back benign.
Yay!
So hopefully I don't have blood cancer. um
Hopefully.
hopefully. And yeah, so it's back to the blood doctor with me now that the breast scare is over.
Cool, cool.
Yay.
But I am getting into quarter 3 like tomorrow.
Mm.
So hopefully I'll get some work done.
Can we define feel? Sure. So let me pull this other thing back up here. Oops, wait a minute. I have made a mistake. Oh no. Will it forgive me? There we go. Um, so feeling is for me,
What are your opinions
do
about
yeah. What's your opinions? And also, does it make you feel guilty? Does it make you feel better? Does what is your emotion going into a break? You know, thinking that you need to take a break, and as you're taking said break, you know, like do you? Because some people feel guilty because they don't do enough productivity or things like that, and so I kind of wanted to bridge that gap of how do you feel about it as an emotion, and also do you do it, do you make sure you do it, how do you do it, that kind of thing, like Sako was talking about. Same way with me, like I took the break because I knew I had a bunch of medical stuff coming up, and I knew um that I needed to catch up. I felt like I was drowning in admin, and I didn't really have a big plan other than the goals set for books that I wanted to release, and I
mhm,
needed to make a plan for everything else. So June allowed me to do that kind of stuff. I didn't write, I didn't revise, I didn't. I hit the button on
same,
publish. That's it. I hit the button on publish. That's it for two books, two novellas, but they were already done. They were
right. It was
done.
just and uh I don't know if you're the same but um I have pre-press Sako for publishing and I have writer Sako uh who fast drafts and revises and edits and stuff like that. So they are entirely different mindsets. So
So do you take a
yeah,
break in between those two?
sometimes I will, um, so I will write the book, then I will take a break from writing to publish the book. So, yeah, I kind of try my best to um, utilize the skill set because I compartmentalize, right? So, uh, yeah, I write the book, take a break, and then publish the book, and then take like a week uh, to kind of like celebrate and maybe I read my reviews. I read my comments. So,
Same.
which have all been positive so far. Like
Yeah.
uh so I guess I have nothing to fear. But yeah, like
Like when I get criticism inside of a review, I see it as constructive criticism usually. I mean, so far I haven't had trolls. I've been lucky, I guess, but
I don't have
yeah,
trolls. Yeah, I'm very
they
fortunate.
legitimate have given me good feedback. So I feel like, oh, so you became a beta reader. Awesome. That's cool. How about you, Laura?
So I, the first time I actually wrote, like non in my feelings fanfic during college that were just I'm depressed. Let me write depressed characters for a little bit. Was when I discovered bullet journaling and NaNoWriMo about the same time. And so my first writing was a November Nano. And then I found out about the camp. So the only time I ever wrote was a Nano or a camp.
Me
I
too.
never wrote the rest of the year.
Me too.
I would, like, I guess, just refill the well in the months in between. And then I discovered short fiction and started writing constantly throughout the year.
She's an expert on short fiction, y'all,
Yes.
and
But
description.
think since getting laid off twice and having to move back in with the parents, uh, I I was not able to write. I was not able to be in a creative headspace because I was in survival mode. And I feel like you have to be kind of in a stable environment to be able to have the mental capacity to do something fun that's creative instead of just worrying about bills that are piling up and eating away at your stomach in stress. So, I haven't really been creative writing much in the last couple years because of job hunting and things like that. Um, I'm slowly getting back into it now. Um,
Well, you've been doing a good job on your book that you're working on.
um, it is like I have my Dark Academia
Hmm.
that I have 3 chapters in, and then I stopped. Like I just stalled. I'm in my novella that's an erotic romantic suspense, and I've stalled at the climax ending of it. It's just like I just gotta do
Story
it.
of my life. Yeah.
Ugh. So it's just like, ugh. You
But there
I
again, it's
feel
like taking a break. You sometimes have to
it's been
because your
a
brain
break
is
over
not
a
there.
year. It's been a year break for this novella. It's
I
like,
didn't put a deadline on borrowed time, my paranormal romance,
mhm,
and I'm in the first revision, and I think it might be ready for the editor.
mhm,
So hopes I did a whole bunch of alpha readers and stuff like that this year.
mhm,
So I got some really great feedback. And I'm hoping to publish in October. Yes, yes, benign. Yay. Woo.
I'm just going to go through some of the stuff that's kind of on the other side of it. Um, yeah. Yay. Definitely. And also get your
Mhm.
screenings for things that you don't realize might be cancer.
Yeah,
Because if you read
like
my
I had no
story,
idea that my blood was, yeah,
there's things that you don't realize are actually a thing. Like I have melanoma in the back of my eyeball, and I was like, "You can get that there? What the hell?" You know.
heck.
So
Oh,
that was it was a very good idea to go to just a regular eye doctor for your regular checkup because it had come up within a year and it was 6 millimeters. And within your eye, that's huge in your eye.
yeah.
So yeah, get
Eyeballs
your
aren't
regular
that big.
screenings if you can afford it, or even if you have to go find some way of getting it done for free or go through a group that can help pay for it. Get your screenings for everything if you can.
If you're 40 or over, mammo,
Yep.
super important. Because I didn't know, like, it doesn't run in my family, like, it was just out of the blue. I don't feel it. I don't notice it. Uh, like I check myself all the time and didn't feel anything, but the mammo caught it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, so we're talking about the subject now. I don't give myself guilt or grief, but I also don't get things done, and then
Well, that's kind of the point.
disappearing. Yeah,
Yeah. I feel like some of us define ourselves by our productivity. Like I'm only a writer if I am currently writing, kind of thing. And it makes it feel like if you're taking a break, you're not a writer. Or if you need to take a hiatus, then
I
you have
made
failed
it,
the dream. So
I made
it's
it
like,
part of my process.
hmm
Yeah.
yeah,
So, if I'm on a year schedule to write the book, um, and publish it and do all the things, that means I'm working on it full time for a year. And there is a month that I need to take a break, and it's usually May because my birthday. And and then I get back into it. And that's about halfway in the year, right? So, it's it doesn't matter where I'm at in the storyline. I try
hmm
to do a benchmark of some kind, like a milestone, but it doesn't always work that way. And like I've taken a break, a long break, both BC and I, because her health has been questionable, and my health has been questionable. So the sequel to Flambeau is in progress, but I'm hung up on a scene that I should be diving into. Like, it should be my bread and butter. But there's something stopping me,
hmm
and I'm not sure what it is.
same. It's like, do I subconsciously think I'm writing in the wrong direction? Like, what is my hang? Is it just my ADHD executive dysfunction where I have an issue getting momentum to start? Like,
It
what
could be
is
the
it? What is the problem?
transition. Like, the transition is kind of janky. So, uh, like, pacing and flow is so important to me.
hmm
So, when you're co-writing, it doesn't always, like, the transitions don't always pop out to you. Oh, hi, Quinna. Yes.
Compliments.
I do feel like it's important to take longer breaks away from your work when you finish a draft. I finished a draft, immediately got alpha reader feedback, and then basically just thought like maybe I should rewrite the entire thing with a completely different world building aspect. And then felt overwhelmed and just shut down. And I haven't touched it in 2 years. So it's like, um, I don't know. I think there's there's different aspects of yes, you need to give it space to be able to come at it objectively. And now my computer's dying. But also you need to have space to live with it yourself before you share it with others. Ah, there we go.
Uh,
Okay, my computer went dark. Ah, I'm back.
my once upon a time ago, I did an interview with a writer who, uh, whenever she hit writer's block, she would start deleting until she felt like writing again.
Hmm.
So
I can't
that
be that extreme.
that
I think
but
I
it
would.
helped me in the past, like because I was writing it into a direction that kind of met a dead end. So, like, yeah, the delete method, as extreme as it might be, um, yeah, it's super effective.
So Gwenna was talking about there have been several people talking about the breaks that they took. A lot of times it has to do with loss in the family or moving or things that just get in the way. Survival mode, like you were talking about. I think all of us
Hmm.
have experienced that at one time or another. Um, and then Gwen was like, after I lost a thumb drive with the first quarter of my second book in it, I didn't write for 2.5 years. 1 year goes quicker than you think, love. It is the sophomore slump.
Yeah.
What is sophomore when it comes to writing? Because like I
2 years.
have I
Yeah.
have three printed novels on my shelf. Like I've written so many flash fictions and short stories, but it's like when am I a sophomore? When am I a junior? Ah. Yeah.
Productivity is just internalized capitalism. Rebuke the system, destroy demand. Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took
But
me
the
coming into
patriarchy.
this community to figure out that productivity is can be toxic. And I was like, because I'm one of those that I was the one that had to have things done and a perfectionist too, in a certain way, and everything had to be in a certain order because in my mind it's chaos. So I need things out here in order. But how that
Mhm.
played out is everybody got used to me keeping things in order, and therefore they started taking advantage of that when it
Oh.
came to like jobs and you get that the the situations where people are like, oh well, I just won't do it because she's going to do it, that kind of thing.
Oh.
Yeah. And so but it was driving me crazy because you start burning your candle at both ends. You're doing the professional stuff, you're doing the writing stuff, you know so yeah, the breaks do not make me feel guilty at all. Used to probably like when I was more in the professional mode of things, I would have felt bad or it would have annoyed me to not have things a certain way. But now, I don't know, something happened after the kids, have grown up and stuff, and you're just like, okay, so, uh, um,
And
it's I keep my space cool, but everything else can just, do whatever it's going to do. This Did I stay productive for this break? Usually I do just enough to make myself happy, to keep myself And also I used it, like I said, for admin. I wanted to catch up. Like I was so far behind on videos, and I felt bad because I was like, well, I haven't said anything about these videos, and I know that you guys are putting them out constantly, so I want to at least catch up a little bit. So I gave myself that, but it was more like that was fun. That wasn't
Mm.
I didn't see that as, something bad or overdoing it on productivity. And I did it when I felt like it instead of, oh, I've got to do it right now, kind of thing. Um, so I kind of agree with what she's saying there. Um, that too. I wondered that a lot of the time. I didn't have a word for it, but that's a thing. Executive dysfunction.
which is part of burnout and part of, toxic
ADHD and
productivity guilt and like just which is, as you were saying, you are a creature of order. And so am I. Uh, there is chaos, but it's organized chaos. Like, uh, I, I know where everything is, and um, I I also have this thing, which is my bullet journal, and and that keeps me in order. Like I plan my weeks on Sundays, and that way I can just sit down and work. Second version before deleting to write past.
yeah, that would be me. I'd be like, okay, well, I'm taking all this out,
Oh
but
yeah,
I'm not gonna
save the
delete it,
copy. Save a copy.
or save a
Yeah.
copy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But usually I don't have to, like, my paragraphs are kind of short, and I usually just have to back up a paragraph or two,
There's a definition,
and
Laura.
I'm good. When
Sophomore,
you're a
when you're,
freshman and not famous, yeah.
Mhm.
but it's like you're
Fair.
not, but you're not famous yet. So
Yeah.
I think we're all sophomores right now, y'all. We're in the sophomore club.
Eesh.
Writers don't graduate classes. Writing is practice. It's constant and forever. Yeah, you're getting
Part
new skills.
part of my mental thing though is I can't write just for me, just for fun. My brain
Uh,
won't do it. I have to
so
either
like
monetize it
anthologies and
or
stuff.
share it.
Yeah.
So it either has to be I write a short piece for a Drabble challenge that we're all doing together. We can share it in the Discord so we can all praise each other, like, oh, it's so good, and hype each other up. Or it is something I'm gonna publish and make money. I don't write just for fun, just for me. I don't know if it's my people pleasing tendencies. I need the fan fiction instant feedback, like I need the next chapter thing. Like
Isn't that kind of an addiction though? Because and I speak from
yeah.
experience. To me it was an addiction, and it's kind of what me and Dawn fell into because we were getting feedback from each other constantly whenever we were writing, and it was kind of like, oh, that's that hit, that I got because they responded back to me or somebody commented on it or whatever. And so when you're in fan fiction and you're in fan fiction groups or writing groups with a bunch of people and you're constantly getting that adulation from other people, it's kind of like, oh yeah, that feels good. But when you're doing this publishing situation, you don't get that feedback all the time. So you've got to be like, I just got to
But
accept it.
that's why I did alpha readers, so that they got the first draft, they saw the outline, they uh so I got readers of the genre, because I don't write romance, like that's not a thing I do. So if I was diving into a new genre, of course it's still a horror story because I can't not, you know add horror. But I'm uh yeah, the alpha readers, I got readers and writers that like successful. I mean, like their work is amazing, and they that is their bread and butter. So I got the pros and the layman to tell me if my story was legit, like
Mm-hmm.
to review my work. And the revisions are adding scenes and kind of like I've got a couple of transitions that I need to write, but I think it might be ready for the editor.
Nice.
Nice. Yes.
I
Okay,
got a
so
skedaddle.
Okay,
I was about to
yeah, it's about
say
that
it's
time.
about that time, so I don't want to
It
hold you to
is.
where you're late to get to work. Thank you for coming by.
Can I just do one little spiel before I skip?
Yes.
So you haven't gotten to this topic yet, but in the goal setting thing that's coming up later, spoiler alert, I recently did a 7-day challenge where I test ran my goals to see how they played out, to see if they needed tweaking before I did it for a more long term goal
Mhm.
run. And I think that was really helpful just to see, are the walks, do I need to keep doing it as time? Do I need to do it as word count? Do I need to do it as mileage kind of thing? And just tweak that way. So don't feel like once you set a goal, it is set in stone. Feel free to test run it and tweak it before you go for the long haul. But yes, that is
That
my
is
goal setting thing before I vanish into the ether.
All right. So look for Laura Nettles on Amazon, on YouTube, and
On
I will,
Kofi if you want to buy my zines.
yes, physical, right? Physical
Yeah,
copies.
I mail them to you. I have eh, I have stamps.
Ooh,
Yes. So I'm going to put links below once we get out of here because I've got to do some resetting. Apparently, YouTube has decided to toss things onto default setting in some cases, so I'm having to reset everything anyway. So look for
Yeah.
Laura's links as well as Sako's links in the description. Give me about 30 minutes afterward, okay?
Alrighty. I'll see y'all
Bye.
later. Bye. Exit.
There we go. All right. So, we were talking about codependence too. Harder to write just for me, but when added to others, diagnosis I have being in groups hurt my mental health more than the help. So, yeah, you kind of got it. You're getting hit from both sides there. So,
life is short. Be happy. Yeah.
Barb writes for her, but insists on sharing it, blogs, Substack, etc. Feel so outside of everyone and everything, codependence with the things you love and people that make you feel good makes sense to me. Yeah. The more I write, the longer I put off seeking feedback. Too many hands in the pot really dirty the soup.
They can. You have to figure out what's bullshit, what doesn't work for your story, and what does. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I
I agree. I'm a fan of getting everything down first and then sharing it. Unless you get into a point where you can't move forward. If you're stuck, I can understand showing it to a couple people that you trust that are familiar with that kind of writing. However, um, most of the time
critique
it would be,
partner sort of
yeah, somebody that
situation.
you
Yeah.
trust, definitely. But otherwise, yeah, I would wait until the end because I would be afraid that somebody giving me feedback before I'm done would influence the story too much. And so I don't want that to happen. I write for me too. I do publish. Sometimes I have the first two books. Okay, yeah. I remember AO3 is
I
what you're.
try very hard to write for myself, yeah. Borrowed time was an exercise in writing to the market. Um, and but it's still cast void, I think. I haven't decided if I'm making a new because it's a slow burn demi sapphic thing. So I'm like wondering if I should make a new pen name or um not sure.
And
Uh,
also, if you have a link or if you have a wrench, feel free to put in the links. And if you don't, then just get with me later. I'm on Instagram. I'm on um, Discord, Facebook. You can DM me and just let me know so I can let other people know about your work. So,
yeah.
hello, Margaret,
Hi, Margaret.
because I know a lot of us have Substacks at this point, or we have blogs or something. So,
I work on my Substack today. I just don't. I think I'm talking about what we're talking about here is resetting your uh because my 13th week was this past week,
mhm.
which is more of a planning stage. I
All right. So let me go. Let's see real quick. Ta-da. Hello, y'all. Let me get the other one up here because I know that that's the one that you've got stuff on, and also I can just talk about it. So here we go. Do you shift gears or reset your goals? How do you know when to do it? Can you do it even in the middle of your year? So I'll let you take it from here right now.
absolutely. So I go by the 12-week year. Um, 13th week is the planning week. And so the first half of the 12-week year, I'm doing great. It's going awesome. The I kind of lose track of what my goals are um, in like week 7, week 8 or so. So I have to go back to my quarterly spread here. Um, Here's a good example was um last quarter. I do a review and then I do a plan for the next quarter. So and I do it by week, and then each week I will try to set, like, I'm using a system of the to done list instead of the to do list. Um, so I'm gonna do it day by day, and then at the end of the week, I will, like, write down what it is that I did. So hopefully, I will still get that dopamine hit of accomplishing things. And if I fail, well, fail. Um, if I drop off methadone list,
Hmm. Couldn't resist. Oh God.
but yes, if it's not working for you, you can shift gears in the middle of a quarter or the middle of the year and recalibrate. So don't be afraid to deviate from the outline, as it were. Um, th- Also taking breaks. totally a great idea. If you need a week to kind of like reset and consume some content that you did not make, um, like, yeah, there are people who watch TV ad nauseum, but I don't. So, consuming content for fun and for inspiration and stuff like that, um, you start over a lot.
I have to say, doing the delete method would probably be a lot better than the start over method. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
agree. But it
Agree.
seems like everybody's going to be trying the delete method. Just let you know.
Hey, give it a shot.
A
Make
lot
a
of people.
copy and start deleting. Yeah, July start, well, the 29th. Yeah, tomorrow starts starts quarter 3 for me.
Yeah, I think that's what I did was I started tomorrow because it's a whole week and that way I can get some stuff done. So I've got my little to-do list in my planner set up for starting tomorrow. Uh
Yeah,
now
my week this week. So, I'm set up for the week with all the work that I have to do and the appointments that I have, um, and games that I'm in, and maybe I have plans on July 4th. I don't know. We'll see.
after the end of the official Nano happened, I didn't change my goals. I still do that adjacent event 3 times a year. Same. As a matter of fact,
Right
when
for
I
6 weeks.
feel
Yeah.
like it, we do stuff just out of. All right, so Sam's doing Hot Character Summer, which is full summer, from the solstice to the equinox. That's cool because it kind of overlaps everything. And so then I set up for Rough Draft Challenge, which is a heart breathings thing. And
Hmm.
then for August 80K, which is a Mama Maggie thing that she does. And then we just
Yeah.
kind of all jump in and help out. And then in September is usually one of those months where I'm like, okay, I'm going to publish stuff and I'm going to work on marketing and I'm going to work on admin. But September is kind of a month where I don't do a lot of writing slash, um, writing slash revisions. That's the word I was looking for.
I'll be
Revisions.
setting up for print in September so that I can do like an October release. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like for me, September includes the kids will usually come down because they like to visit
Oh,
us
sure. Life be
when
life. And
yeah,
yeah.
and the girls, they've already got plans for us to have like a weekend, just the girls together, during
Hmm.
September. So, it's kind of it's just that kind of month. It's like I'm going to be going in too many different directions to actually do any kind of writing and revisions and get it right. Because if your mind is on something else, yeah, no. And so then I'll pick back up in October. November, of course, novel writing month, and then December is holiday season. So there's going to be lots of marketing stuff that I do for that too. So
Yeah, I'll be marketing like crazy, making book trailers and cover reveals, and it's a big marketing, snafu. I usually start about 6 months ahead of time, but I'm kind of in a hurry to release this book because like I want to ride this audience um for while it's still thrashing, if that makes sense.
yeah, I mean it does because you're wanting to just have kind of ride the wave, like got this going, and then I can just do the next project, and they already have something that they can jump into.
I don't
Um,
want time shift out this year
yeah, stop setting goals. Health is too volatile, and I don't like consistently failing due to things I have no control over. That said, I do want time shift out this year, and I don't know how. Um,
Oh.
well, I mean, I would just make it the goal to get as much done on time shift as possible, and
Mm-hmm.
don't hold it against yourself if you can't, because I mean, I know from experience, you can't help that. You don't know what your body's gonna do.
I'm in the same boat. Health too volatile to work on my book. So, and I've been working on it for 3 years. I've been working on it since uh my third book came out, and I started subbed. That means you need to write. Ha
That's
ha
the
ha
Eva, I
ha.
think. You need to write then.
Yeah.
Or Liz, one of the somebody this got a Substack just got a sub.
I think it was metabolic. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a challenge, but I still set my goal. I mean, it's just so I stopped calling them goals all the time. A lot of times I'm calling them experiments because
Oh, sure. You need time
I'm
to
trying,
experiment
you know, actually a big experiment
and
that I'm about to
practice.
jump into is the series has been out now since March. The full series has been out since March. And so that's a quarter. I'm going to put it in KU for a quarter. See what happens. See
Mhm.
how that goes. You get because I'm making more money when it comes to book sales from my paper book sales, paper book, paperback sales, um,
Mhm.
and going to events and things like that. So that's where most of the income comes from. And so I was like, well, if I'm not making as much off of the ebooks, then I'm going to try something different with the ebooks. And I found a bunch of resources about resetting the algorithm when it comes to KDP by using KU to reset for to let Amazon know, hey, this might be worth it because it's getting more reads in KU. It's being passed
Mhm.
around in KU. So I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see what happens. And I will probably report back to everybody on aggressively helpful writing advice about what happens. But um it's these moments when you've taken a break, I think, that you really start studying, okay, so what is happening? You know, and even though you may have a goal, that doesn't mean that that goal has to be done at a specific time, at least in my book, because again, like you guys said, you guys have chronic pain, you have chronic illnesses and stuff, same thing. I don't know when I'm going to have a flare and I'm stuck out not doing anything for a whole week or two.
I have
So,
been working on my zombie story all year long. And well, at the beginning of each quarter, I'm like, I'm going to work on this thing. And then I don't work on the thing. So I'm hoping that this next quarter will be a little more successful in that regard.
yeah, and I'm not saying just throw it out the door. I'm saying be great, give yourself some grace on that. I want to finish this many books this year. Okay, well then I'm going to try. That's my goal, which means that I'm not going to just slack off, but at the same time, give yourself some breaks. Don't feel like you don't put all the pressure down on yourself too.
Have a clock out time.
Yeah. This right here, I
You
was doing
are
the
a
7-day
full
challenge
time.
this week and then just didn't you know, it turns out that my kids were able to play Ark and my best friend was able to play Ark. Everybody was able to play my favorite video game at the very same moment a couple of weeks ago. I dropped everything because that doesn't happen very often. And you know what? We had a blast.
I'm glad. I am.
Good job, Eva. Don't, you know, and I know that you're doing that with your son, so even
Yeah,
better.
life be lifin'. I'm telling you. And if
29.
life includes Roblox, then so be it. My niece is 13 and she is an addict to horror games on Roblox.
Yep, big transitional shift. Roblox. Did anybody define it? I know it's a video game, right? It's a game of games. Yeah. I was just decorating my journal and putting in pages. It was a nice slow morning of stickers. Yes. See, and
Oh,
these
you
like
like
that too.
my which are supposed to be on white paper, but I have stickers. I'm just gonna. I always work on colored paper this year and last year, but I'm
This is another thing. Like you can just have dates, a flow. In as long as you have a flow and you're doing a little bit each time, then you don't ever really get behind, but you're not pushing yourself to do something all at once.
I use intoxication to clock out because I cannot write when I'm intoxicated. I know they say write drunk, edit sober. I haven't been drinking much lately, but I have other methods. But it's it puts my headspace in the I have free time. This is time for self-care. This is time for me to consume content that I didn't make. Or I go on to Discord and chat all day, like
Let's see, care, and then two knitting groups.
we're
Oh, you're
going to
gonna
see
go see
Mean
Mean
Girls on the
Girls?
9th and then care again. I'm still trying to find an Irish dance class and a clarinet tutor. Ah.
Self development.
Yeah. And Mean Girls is a trip.
Games made. Everyday people can add their own. Yeah, I like that for that particular game. I've not gotten into it, but I've seen people play it. Safeguards in place for chat. Uh huh. Yeah, that's the big thing because people are mean.
Not just mean, but also vulgar,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So yeah, I will recalibrate halfway into a 12-week year quarter, and there is nothing wrong with that. And sometimes that recalibration involves a week off. So while I plan and recalibrate, really, for I basically treat it like a mini quarter. Maybe I'm not communicating that right. But it becomes more of an experiment, like you were saying before.
Yeah,
Um,
that's where I the reason I call them experiments is because I will be in the middle of a quarter, right? And I realize this experiment is failing. This isn't working for me. This isn't working
and
for
then you re
I'm just going to take a day or so and I'm just going to reset things because I mean, that's how I've gotten all the books published that I've gotten published because I was like, oh, this doesn't work for me. So let me do this. This doesn't work for me. So let me change gears, move and do this. Uh,
mhm.
You guys have seen me go through so many subscription places if you followed me. And every time I'm like, this one's going to be it. This one's going to be it. And then something happens, or drama, or, or it's like, this just isn't working. And I'm putting in a lot of effort to this and it's just not working. And so at this point, I've actually stopped trying when it comes to subscription stuff, which takes that off of my plate. But,
Yeah.
you know, it's a matter of you've got to experiment first. For some people, subscriptions, man, that's how they make tons of money. But for
Hmm.
some of us, it just doesn't work. So be ready to reset. Let's see. I loved about the
But don't
official.
get caught in the trap of always planning and never doing.
Hmm.
That is really easy to do.
Yeah, you got to follow through.
Yeah.
It may take a bit, but you do need to follow through.
There has to be a point where the planning stops and the experimentation begins.
Yeah, everybody's a little bit different. That's one of the things. It's like I've started calling everything experiments. Do I have goals? I I have that's the best word for it for me, but it's not set in stone. Like I want to do
Yeah,
all
same
these
here.
releases this
Um,
year, but the main thing is I want to make sure I'm writing toward that. Doesn't mean that they're actually going to get released this year. Something I heard was to be willing to pivot from your book, maybe set it aside and write a short story, flash fiction, or novella you were planning to do at some point, and it helps out.
I was flip-flopping between Borrowed Time and Delphian, which is the sequel to Flambeau. So if I would get to a milestone in one story and then I would flip to the other story. That's how I write two books at once. Is um the thing is they have to be different enough stories, or I'll start confusing them. Uh,
Yeah, your
it's
bullet
not on
journal.
black paper, so why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks good. I think a lot of people move through life as if having an employer is an achievement that negates other life responsibilities. Uh,
Yeah,
it's
being
programmed
your
though.
own boss.
It's programmed
Yeah.
that way. Like we have insurance. What? Through the employer. You have to work toward to find your own insurance if you decide to be self-employed. You have to work to find all of this other stuff if you're going to be self-employed. You've
Hmm.
got to make sure that you keep yourself going if you're going to be self-employed because nobody's there to.
And also not going, uh, like you have to have that clock out time. I cannot stress this enough. If you work for yourself,
Clock out.
like, so I reassessed my workflow at the beginning of the year, and I work 5 hours a day because I heard that in a 8 hour workday you technically only work 5 hours, and then you dick around for the other three. And yeah, probably. Um,
So yeah, I believe that's a study that they did. And I know that was it the Netherlands, and if James is still watching, he can chime in on that. I think it was the Netherlands that they were like, no, you shouldn't work over 6 hours a day because at that point your brain is like, no,
the
and you're
first
just that
two
you're just there
hours,
floating.
the first two, hmm. the first 2 hours of the shift is when I do all my admin, and because that is usually the most important stuff that I need to get handled on a Monday morning, um to set up for the week, and stuff like that, especially regarding the planning is fun, doing
Doing.
no, not so much. I have a drawer in my wardrobe that says "Stop talking, start doing" in fancy script, and Sicilian illumination, and it motivates me and to actually have content to share with other people, and because my life goal is to inspire others and get an emotional response out of my content.
Yeah. So that's something that you guys may not realize I'm doing. The reason that I have 4 Substacks now.
You have
um,
4 Substacks?
yeah. Um,
Holy shit.
but I, to be fair, I already had those blogs. They were just, I was just using them as journals and stuff, and I was putting them to the side. So it's not like I'm doing more work. It's just, I'm putting them somewhere where other people can see it. But
Mhm.
the point is that the reason that I do that is because I do need this. So I will go from writing my fiction, revising my fiction, and then go into nonfiction mode. And it really does reset my brain, and it helps me. So a lot of times, like today, whenever I'm doing my sprints, that's what I'm doing. I'm working on articles or drafts of articles that I can publish later, and
Mhm.
or doing research for them, and that gets me out of fiction mode. And then during the week, for the most part, I'm in fiction mode. So
Oh,
it's kind
cool.
of a reset.
Okay.
And that's why you guys will see that I've got those, because I've got one that's kind of a personal blog that I was originally just doing on Medium, but now I've come to Substack too, because I just Medium I get paid, yes, but on Substack it's just so much easier and cleaner and easy. It's just I like it. Substack. And then I've got one that is just for our clips, things, deleted scenes, things like that. Then I've got aggressively helpful writing advice, and then I also do my newsletter for fans of my writing on Substack now. So yeah, that's four total. So that helps. That transition helps.
This year has been drama after drama, and it doesn't look like it's letting up anytime soon. So I need to learn to write despite the constant chaos. Um, I actually, in 2008, I think it was, that was the first year that I tried Nano, and I won. So, and that was when my grandfather was dying of lung cancer. So, and I was the caretaker. So, whatever free time I had my escapism via writing. And um and it was a dream sequence for someone who's detoxing from cocaine use, and they're a mage, they're a master mage. So what does that mean, and how do you help a mage recover from cocaine use? So it was the escapism that I needed. um yeah.
So this is, yeah, the anytime, learn to write despite the chaos. And well, for me, writing is therapy when it comes to my characters and stuff. A lot of times I will be in a certain mood, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to write this character. I'm going to write this scene. And I may not use that scene for years, but it's there. So it's ready for whenever I
I
am.
write scenes that never make it into the, like, there's this questionnaire that you can ask your characters, uh It's a I call it the 131, and it's 131 questions to ask your character to flesh them out. And you don't have to answer every question, but it inspires you to make origin story uh origin stories for your characters. And it I actually wrote an entire novella uh using the 131, which is my mage's backstory. So it's exercises and experiments that can be uh helpful.
Yeah, if you're gonna do a 32-hour week and you're wanting somebody to be full time, then you do still have to pay them some good money. But the thing is that again, that's the whole grubby greediness of some employers, and that's, oh my gosh, I could get on a soapbox. I don't need to get on a soapbox with this. I am
Oh,
happy that Eva has, in her and their family has experienced the good side of that, a good employer who helped out when they were in crisis and let them deal with it instead of forcing problems or getting rid of them. That's something that happens all the time. I can tell you some stories, ooh, about people wind up in crisis, even on chemo, and the employer's like, "Well, bye. You're no good for me, so bye." And that's really horrible. So I'm glad that you didn't go through that. um, I may not. I'm not going to click on every chat
comment.
because
Yeah.
we would be here for like hours. So I appreciate though all the chat. That's great, and I hope that you guys meet each other
Mwah.
and network with each other. You know, this is a thing here. I love AuthorTube because of this. So let's see. Origin stories. Wait a minute. I saw this. I love origin stories. I'm not just saying that because of my mythic fantasy. Or am I?
How long is your mythic fantasy at this point? Is it like a series of stuff?
They're trying to do soapboxes, and I'm like, not today.
Not today. Maybe
Yeah,
check out her stream later.
yeah, exactly.
um,
That's, yeah, and they didn't, so that's awesome. Oh, hey there, Jocelyn.
Hi, Jocelyn.
So for anybody that is just getting here, this is what we're talking about: shifting gears, resetting your goals. How do you know when to do it? Can you do it even in the middle of the year? And we've decided, yes, you definitely can. It doesn't
Hmm.
even have to be in the middle of the year. You don't have to have an official date. I like having like to start something new on the beginning of a week. Hence, tomorrow's my first day for the next quarter. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, it's a matter of just resetting your mind, whether it be little things like you're going from fiction and you're getting stuck, or you're getting to where you're not wanting to do anything with your fiction, so you pop over to a blog or journaling or whatever, nonfiction, and then come back when you're ready. Or the big things like, okay, well, I was going to do this book and it was going to be done by the end of the year, but something's happened, and so I need to reset that expectation. And then calling things experiments instead of goals, because we are experimenting and learning along the way what works, what doesn't work. So that helps free your brain sometimes. And then with Sako, definitely, because you've said that more than once, have a clock out, an official clock out. Don't keep working constantly because you're going to burn yourself out.
And then you have productivity guilt and executive dysfunction and Which, if you want to hear or read my views on all of that stuff, you can check out my Substack, which I will write today. I wrote a couple of articles on the topics, and hopefully you garner some wisdom from them.
Definitely. You gave me the link tree, right? So it's on your link tree. Okay, cool.
I think so. Yeah.
If not, I'll look it up one way or another, and I'll put it in the description on this at some point today. I just realized how close we are to the next thing, so I'm like, okay, well, it may not be within 30 minutes, but it will be some point today that I will update the description on this video with all the links, all the fun links. So Eva started over, but the cleanup I did of the files last year had it at 99K words of short stories, scenes, notes, and outlines. Ooh.
Oh, all the planning, all the world building, all the yeah, yeah, I gotcha.
See you later, Barb. I have finally pieced together the problem, and the current draft has exactly one scene written. Yeah, but you've got all of that there. That counts. Like the other stuff counts.
The other stuff counts. Yeah.
Nerds, yes. Case study author too. Theory goals suck. Okay, yeah. But we gotta get some done.
Milestones, I guess,
Milestones, yeah.
you know, like
Justin says, I think most authors don't consider a clock out time for creativity.
yeah,
But if that's what you're
but if your
doing,
creativity is your job, you don't necessarily um you can't, it's not sustainable to go hard on creativity and not refill the well. So that clock out time will allow you to refill the well on a short-term basis rather than a long-term one.
yep. And again, I apologize because I know a lot of y'all had wrenches, but again, YouTube is being weird and I'm having to redo stuff. I've even got to redo some of the programming in the backside of this. So
On the back end, yeah.
yeah, it reset it to where I couldn't post this link on certain sites because it considered it what's the name? Re
Unshareable.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's unshareable. They had a word for it, but I was just like, since when?
Since when? Yeah.
My problem is that I have a regular job and then doing the creative stuff on the side, so I tend to end up working 7 days a week. But you need to, make sure that you're taking brain breaks. That's the reason I grabbed you, and
Uh,
we were like, I'm
if
going to
you have
Starbucks
a
with you.
main job like I do, and then you have a creative, drawing for yourself or writing for yourself or consuming content, um you can do that stuff during your self-care. You be creative during your self-care. um yeah. I do that quite often, is I'll work on a personal project or whatever my shiny object syndrome is telling me to do the things.
Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Yes. Yeah, I make you do everything. To
Do
be
we want to
fair,
wrap up so that you have do we want to wrap up so that you have like time to get to your thing?
yeah, yeah, it's coming up on 15 after. Yeah. That way it gives everybody a break before they head over. It gives me a break that I can run and do stuff real quick. So yeah, it's a lot, but you got to you got to figure out the balance when it comes to your creative side. Don't that way you're not, because the creative side is the first to go, right? Because if you've got all this other stuff that you've got to get done, that's real life, you know? And so you put that mentally as your priority instead of the creative stuff, and then your creative stuff suffers. So, yeah, that balance, man, it's tough, but it needs to be done. All right,
It's
yeah.
a trip.
Go ahead and do your outro, Sako, and then we will be set up for next week. Or not next week. Remember, we're doing it every
We're
other week
doing
now.
bi-weekly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Howdy, folks. I'm Sako Toomey. I write horror under the name Cass Foyt. I'm writing 2 books right now, but I have 3 published, and I'm in 2 anthologies and like flash anthologies, and you should Google me at Sako Toomey or Psycho Sako or Cass Boyd, um, and you'll find all my stuff. So drop a line sometime. I would love to hear from you.
And I am Rachel D. Adams. I run the Aggressively Helpful Writing Advice Substack along with some others, and I write all kind of genres, but the main book series that you can look up is the Dragon Tasker series, and we have the completed series ready for you and available. So be sure to check that out. I am going to put the link to the sprints in the bottom there. Uh, I will start at 12:45. That way, it gives me a little bit of a break and gives you a little bit of a break.
There
And
is a link tree, Liz, in the description, I believe. So in the link tree, I believe there is a link to my Substack.
yeah, and if anybody just came in, I'm going to be updating the description with more links and stuff later on today. I just have to get past the streaming part, and then I can go
Yeah,
back and do that because otherwise it gets fussy with me.
yeah.
Um, and yeah, no breaking the block next week, but the Sunday after is when we'll be back. Let's see, that's going to be so not the 5th, but the 12th. And
Yeah,
I won't be here, but everybody else should be here
yeah.
for that. All right. You guys have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Catch you later.
Mwah.
Bye.